We have the story from Fox News. New Jersey sample lesson plans push videos for fifth graders on graphic sex-related content.
This was the stuff released by Lips of TikTok, right?
Was this the New Jersey stuff?
Well, she started it, yeah.
Yep.
I just wanted to give her credit.
Yeah, so it seems like we're seeing an inversion almost of what Florida is doing, where Florida's like, hey, look, third grade and below, it's hands off. After, fourth grade and up, you can have these conversations without parental consent, which I also think is still kind of crazy because parents should be signing off on, curriculum and knowing what's going on. But now we're seeing schools having graphic sex-related content for even fifth graders.
I think this is a great argument for Chris Rufo's whole transparency in education thing, which I love, this idea that curriculum needs to be posted before the beginning of the year so you can see what's going on. I like it for this reason, and I like it just so that I would know what my kid is up to and I can help study. What's interesting in New York is you have the unelected governor, Kathy Hochul, pushing for, similar kinds of stuff as New Jersey, thoroughly opposed to the parental rights and education bill in Florida. And you have Andrew Giuliani, who is also running for governor, saying that he's interested in having a parental rights and education bill in New York. I think it's going to come down to, I think a lot of that's going to really come up in that what do you call it? Race, in that race.
I was just going to say, with this stuff, is what's so insane is that with talking to the kids about this stuff, I've looked at some of these lesson plans, of course, just out of educational responsibility, not because I wanted to learn. And the way that they actually teach the kids about sex is so inaccurate. It's absolutely crazy. So you thought porn was a bad educator for children. It is kind of crazy. They're now talking about they're not calling people kids anymore, and they're not using the difference between adults and children, but they're using this phrase called young people, which is this idea of children. So that's the new hot phrase that they're using, young people. And this idea of taking away man and woman, old and young, adult and child, and everyone's a person X, like a Latinx. We're all vague and we're all a person. And there's this level of maturity. I know we talked about this before the show, but some of these educational sites that have porn on them to teach kids about the websites, you can check them out. They're cartoon porn, and unless you got some really weird fetishes, I don't think you're going to get stumbled. I don't think you're going to really like them a lot. But you go to click in, and it asks you it says by federal law you have to be 18 to enter the site. Then asks if you're mature enough. And when you get in there, the lessons on sex for kids are so strange. If somebody had told me that's what sex is, like the one I saw up front was, they were like, sometimes you get an erection, you get horny, and the guy's penis was the size of his torso. It was like this big, and I'm going, okay, I understand exaggeration in art, but if we're going to teach kids about accuracies of sex, why are you using cartoons with penises this 4 feet long? It's very weird.
Take a look at this story. This is from timcast.com. Maryland Department of Education will require pre-K students to learn about gender identity and expression. The state's health curriculum aims to examine how racism impacts sexual identity by middle school. I want to break this one down.
Wait, how racism impacts
yeah.
gender identity by middle school?
But so hold on.
Okay.
I got a bone to pick with this here timcast.com.
Is it a 4 foot long bone?
Will require? When you actually pull up the document, it actually has on it pre-kindergarten through high school, 1st July 2020 to June 2021. It sounds like they're already doing it. And now I have questions about the website, but the website is linked through the maryland.gov portal. So this is coming out of Maryland's public school website, this document talking about pre-kindergarten through high school and what they're going to be teaching these kids. I don't think that it's planned opposition to what's happening in Florida. I think what Florida is in effective opposition to what they've already been doing.
Yeah.
And it was already happening in Florida too.